everyone, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. My name is Diena Lee Mann, founder and CEO of Spectio. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Helena Cho, Director of B2B Marketing at Expedia Group. She has a very deep background in both marketing and as a data leader. So many organizations struggle to effectively deliver data and analytics services and products. Now, why or what do you think is the root of that problem?
Decision makers ready, specifically data analytics skills that's required to build this product into creation. I said front-end UX design, back-end detail build, and then lastly, understanding the business model and priorities. In an ideal, happy world where unicorn lives, maybe we'll have all the team members who possess all three skills. The truth is, and I've worked with a lot of very, very capable and smart people, you rarely, almost never get all three. It's just really hard to do. It's really hard you will get like superstar data engineers who will nail down backend. You'll get superstar UX person or analyst who can build 3D like front end design. And you get a really capable program manager who understands everything and who enjoys like making sure we follow all the deadline and then let everybody in the room and listen to them and get the decision. But it's really hard to get all three. Like if you don't believe it, think about yourself. Like you'll likely maybe check top two, but it's really hard to find those people. So what you have to do is you have to get multiple people with different strength and different specialization and field knowledge that's required to build single data product that we're going to solve. So here people do many different things, and that's where transition gaps start coming in. So the very first thing that people will say is, let's document everything so that like if we have people go in and out of the project, the longer it gets, it's easier to onboard. We need to keep the receipts of decisions so people can like document everything, right? Well, here and you go into some additional problems that comes with the collaboration of this type of like cross-domain knowledge project. Anything really, even beyond the data product. The first thing is let's say you invested time to document about the solutions. I'm sure you felt this way, that you click publish on whichever platform of choice, just to see it go completely obsolete, like the moment it just goes out. Like people jump in and say like, oh, you missed this, or you get another business decision that just turns your world upside down, especially if you work in industry such as tech. Like a lot of y'all have gone through some degree of this. So you feel like now all the time and energy you spent on documentation is useless. And this becomes the loop again. So it's like, it's giving you the signal that like documentation is useless because like it's not gonna be usable anyways. So we'll just tell the stories. Second problem, so people go into lack of documentation. I'm like, screw documentation, this doesn't work. Then you always, but like something needs to be there to still do this translation get. And what usually happens is, remember, going back to the three skills, we have what I call super analysts, like, or some super people who have more than two skills, who have like who score high on more than two skills, that I mentioned. But again, their job is not program or project manager. They were most oftentimes I see analysts actually do this. So a lot you will find those people analysts and a lot of analytic data leaders that I know in my network built their career this way. I built my career in this way too. But here's the problem. It's not their zone of genius. Like being a program project manager is not what they are the best at. There are things that they may be good at and bringing like ad hoc solutions. And you create a divide between what this super analyst or data scientist wants to do with their career. And now we are utilizing talent in, I don't want to say wrong, but not most efficient way.
Gotcha. Now, earlier you mentioned the need for timeliness and availability of data products to business decision makers. What is your recommendation for data and analytics teams when it comes to balancing priorities between sufficient solutions versus solutions that scale?
Sure. So I already mentioned about oftentimes companies and the teams resort to putting a person into that role, like a person who can translate business technical terms and everything else that comes with it, or knowing all the different domain knowledge, or like project management solutions such as like Asana, Monday, like you name it, Figma, yada yada yada, in all different areas. So either do that, and if you do find a person, it's going to be quite an investment. And again, it's still one person. So I love very good project program managers in my network because like they are crucial to anything that we build and the success is there. But oftentimes I am reminded that that person is one person. Like you can't scale with one person. So one thing that I learned over the course of my career was there are outside solutions that may be able to provide answer to your problem. None of the solution is going to give you 100% of the answer, but there are things out there if you know what your problem is to fix it. So if you were to find out a solution, just my advice on the how to solve for scale is whenever you either get approached or if you want to approach the solution that your network is recommending, just make sure to get the demo and know your pain points and simply see like not just from the perspective of oh that's how the solution looked like, but really kind of go through your list of pain points and see if that tool fixes your main pain points for you. And also, how quickly the working solution can get delivered is another thing. Depends on where it is. It may be just out of box and you can use it right away, but some of the data solutions need to be integrated into your current structure. So make sure you set the right timeline. And I believe that most importantly, in this case of collaboration, because we are specifically solving for this translation gap, I believe the learning curve for implementation needs to be the absolute low, like the lowest, meaning any engineer, any analyst, or any business stakeholder doesn't have to, so it can be leader all the way down to a field marketer who needs to get a proof points for some of their campaigns and wanted to test out, hey, I think this is the case, but does data support it? At any level, if the system is so hard to use and then you need to create separate training to do it, then that alone is already such a big blocker to get this collaboration and translation into a scale. Now, a lot of solutions, outside solution prior, tried to solve it in a different way, but now we live in the world of AI. So I, for me, it's really exciting to see there are different solutions that's leveraging AI to really lower this implementation learning curve. So that's the just key on finding either whether you're going to do this inside or outside solution, but that'll work for your processes and team. So I just want to end with how I got to do the demo for Spectio recently. And this was the key point where I was just kind of blown away with how easy it was put it together. There are lots of documentation and my team trying to solve. We have Word doc, we have PowerPoint, we have Jira systems, we have like process of things, and then it just showed up in like one UI. So I was so blown away. If you haven't, please go check it out. That's I think it can help a lot of those translation gap. But yeah, even though you decided not to use Spectio, like when you work with other companies, just keep in the mind that like anything that will lower the learning curve, in my opinion, will help solve the translation gap.
Thank you so much, Helena. Really appreciate your making time for this interview today. We definitely need more leaders like you who, stay close to the business and are experts at building effective data and analytics organizations. So thank you. So thanks everybody for listening. Please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews.